2, 1. Okay, so welcome to this video. So Blackboard Math Displaying Issues. So if you're a student, you'll get pretty frustrating if this happens to you. If you're a teacher, I think you're going to be probably even more frustrated because just one of these issues can throw off maybe a homework assignment or a test that you have designed. So what is this all about? Well, basically, as you can see on the screen here, so here is on the left-hand side what a student might see. So this is question 20. It says -5 and 1/2. And then what should really be displayed is what you see there on the right-hand side, okay, which is this right here. So something has gone wrong for this particular student with regards to the display. And that's what I want to be able to cover, both from a perspective of a student facing this issue, you know, what you should do, and then also some of the things that a teacher can think about, okay, in terms of items that students can try and things that you as a teacher can let your students know. So I hope that this is going to be useful for those students and teachers. I haven't solved this problem entirely. If I will, then I maybe will display or produce another video down the line. But at least I want to put this up so that it gets some of the frustrations out for students facing it in real time, and then teachers facing it in real time, and what you can do to mitigate some of the issues. All right, so first of all, okay, so this is one problem. So I have, I'm going to show you a couple. So here's something else that a student has seen, okay? So this is what the student sees as on a display, and then this is what actually should have been displayed within the question. So this, okay, should have been displayed right there, and this was a multiple choice question that they had. And again, so this was, okay, what should have been displayed for the student right there. Now, one of the main issues, of course, is browsers. So it will depend on which browser you are using. And what I would suggest is that you as a teacher and then you as a student, okay, so as a teacher, you inform your students, and then for students, you should, okay, also take some responsibility if you're going to be taking online courses, that you actually know how to clear your cache within the browsers. There are now too many browsers, right? So it's not like a teacher can say there's one solution for all. You have Safari, you have Google Chrome, you have, Windows-based, so Explorer and Edge, okay, Mozilla's, Firefox. So there's so many. So, clearing your browser, okay, so that's one thing that you should think about before you're going to start. Now, anytime you do start an assignment, test, okay, or homework on Blackboard, it should primarily be done, okay, on a regular browser and not through the Blackboard app, okay? So if you're doing it that way, at least that's what I recommend at the moment. So now, clearing your cache. So this is, how do you do that? Okay, so this is basically, there can be discrepancies that happen within your browsers where, your browsers are storing information on the websites that you're visiting. And then at some point, if you visit them again, you might have a conflict if something has changed or been upgraded, okay, to the site. And then that conflict may result in something like this, where you're not actually seeing what you're supposed to be seeing. So how do you clear this cache? Okay, because again, there's so many different browsers. Okay, so my recommendation, so this is a really good site. Okay, so this particular site is from basically Iowa, so Information Technology Services. Okay, and they show you how to clear the cache and cookies in your browser. Now, a word of caution, because when I'm making this video, of course, this is up and it has all the different browsers in here, both, even for phones, okay, for iOS systems, okay, and so on. But it may not necessarily have all of them. You might need to do it on an Android phone. So the ultimate thing is that if you don't see yours here, okay, or if you log into this page, okay, then you may want to kind of just put it in your browser, okay, and search, how do you clear your cache for the browser you're using, so Google Chrome or Firefox, Safari, whichever ones that you use. Okay, so this is just one option, okay, and it just shows you, it actually does give you step-by-step, okay, kind of instructions. So here, okay, so with respect to that, Okay, I'm going to try to bring this down a little bit so that you can actually see. Okay, and I'm going to display, okay, within here, so the browser. So there you have it. You can copy it down, take a screenshot of this, okay, and then log on. So that's actually this site. But of course, you can put it in your browser and then check, okay, how do you clear your cache and your cookies within. Okay, so that's one thing that you can think about. All right, so now what's another thing that you can think about, especially when this is happening to you in real time? So when you've already opened a homework, open an assignment, it's not like, well, you might think about this unless, one of your teachers actually posts maybe a video like this for you and says, watch this before starting. Okay, and then you can watch the video and then you'll be like, okay, I'm aware that this is something that can happen. Okay, and then you're more prepared for that. Okay, so I would hopefully encourage, maybe teachers, you can post a video like this, you can make your own, so that students are aware on how to clear their cache. But if you're a student and let's say you're forgotten, okay, you didn't clear the cache, or something has gone wrong, maybe new updates, and again, because we use these things all the time, it's not like we're clearing our cache every time we're going to be using Blackboard, right? So what's a solution? So this is a more realistic solution. So this is in real time. So when something is happening to you as you go, and what would I suggest that students do, if they open up, okay, their assignments, tests, okay, or homeworks, whatever it may be, and it just turns out that there's math, and then you're like, uh-oh, I'm not seeing a question here, so something is wrong. Or maybe it's even blank, maybe it's not even like this, or maybe you don't even see anything. And then you're like, I don't know what to do. Okay, so what should you do in real time? Well, first of all, I would encourage you to take a screenshot, okay? Just so that you have a reference. You can take a screenshot, save it to your images, okay? And then if necessary, you can send it to your teacher and explain what happens on that question, okay? So, taking a screenshot is worthwhile. And again, if you're not sure how to take a screenshot within, you can use your phone and even take a picture of it, okay, directly. But there is ways of taking a screenshot, again, depending if you're using Windows, if you're using, maybe Google Chrome type of devices or whatever it is. So whatever device you're using, learn how to take screenshots, okay, so that you can have it and then, you can attach it to emails, send it off to your teachers, okay, so that's one. Okay, I think that you should know about. But now, of course, that's not going to save you, okay, as you're writing. So my kind of main mitigating problem here is, as you're writing your assignment or test or whatever it may be, simultaneously you can actually, because Blackboard allows you to open it on a second device. Okay, so it's not going to shut you down, okay, and even if it does, the time is still ticking away. Okay, so you can refresh it, okay, you can even log back in, okay, the only thing is that the time is ticking away, so it depends on how your teacher set it up. So this is for teachers, make sure that you're not locking your students out, if they do refresh, so that it just doesn't shut down, okay, on their own. So what I suggest is, let's say you are writing, you're writing and this is your browser is not displaying things for you correctly. Okay, let's say maybe this is on your PC or maybe this is on your Mac, okay, or something like that. Then I would say simultaneously, okay, take your phone, okay, or whatever other device you have, and then open your test or assignment here as well so that you can see at least the question. So if it's not displaying correctly over here, okay, then the probability, okay, that it won't display correctly on both is actually super low. And at least for my students in the past, this has worked. So they just open it on another device, then they can see the question, okay, and then they can do a solution directly and then answer it back in, okay, if it's multiple choice or maybe fill in the blanks. And if it's not, they can write it down, okay, as a solution and then attach it to email, or maybe you as a teacher, you're asking your students to submit a file. I actually do pretty much on tests, okay, so that students have to submit a file, okay, especially if it's worth a little bit more, so that when they're submitting the file, they can let me know, okay? So this is really the real-time solution if you're running into this. Open it on another device, Okay, so like your phone, so go on your browser on your phone, okay, go back into your assignment or test, open it there. Yes, you're going to have it simultaneously. Okay, only work on one of them, but on the second device you can at least view the question. All right, so that's the main idea and mitigating result. And until this happens to you, you're going to kind of be ignorant to the problem because you won't know it, but it may happen to some students. Okay, so this is something that Blackboard has to fix. I hope that they do at some point. But until then, as a teacher, okay, what can you do is, so unfortunately you have to talk to students and communicate with them and then calm them down, okay, when these things do happen. So give them another option, okay, what they could possibly do. Now, the only way that I could have solved this from the viewpoint of teachers is that, you actually write this out in full text. But of course, writing this out in full text, okay, without using the math editor would have been something like this, -5, all right, and then maybe, you would have had to write this, okay, I don't know, space, maybe 1/2, okay, and then you would have to communicate to students that this actually means -5 and 1/2, right? Okay, so and then you could have written it times, okay, and this would have been 1, okay, and then 1, okay, and this is 22. Now, of course, something like this is also displayed on calculators sometimes because it's not like calculators can utilize this. I mean, some of the newer calculators might. So they do display it in a funny way. So, you can just use plain text, but this is not always fun to do for teachers. Unfortunately. So I think the math editor is amazing. The only thing is that you're running into this issue. So in recap, first of all, clear your cache. Okay, you can go back to the video, check on that, or just put into your browser, how do I clear my cache on, I don't know, Google Chrome, okay, or whatever, and you will find your answers. So do that before you start your tests or assignments, okay? And then in real time, if you do this, take a screenshot, okay, inform your teachers, okay, send that picture in, explain what happened, what question it was, so that your teachers know. And trust me, if you do that, your teachers are going to be understanding. They'll try to figure out a way to work with you, okay? And then you can, of course, open it on another device, okay, simultaneously as you're writing, so that you can view it. So that has actually helped. Now, if opening it on another device doesn't work and you're still not seeing anything, then definitely take a screenshot and then communicate with your teacher. Finish the test or assignment in its entirety, and for the question that you might not see, just simply inform your teacher. All right, and then I'm sure that they're going to be working with you to solve this problem. All right, so I know that this is not a full-out solution, at least not yet. Maybe in the future I'll post something. I'm going to try to hunt down Blackboard and see how to mitigate these types of problems, okay, within and then what's really causing them. Is it really just the cache in your browsers, or maybe is it something within Blackboard, okay, that's actually incorrect? Thanks for watching. I hope that you find this useful. Okay, please put any comments you have, and if somebody finds a solution finally, definitely put them in the comments. I'll try to pin it up, okay, so that any other teachers or students will know. Okay, we'll see you in a future video. Hope this was useful. Bye, everybody.